Alright, this is my third take on this video. And before people say, oh yeah, you said you would quit Deepwoken. The thing is, I feel inclined to make deep content for the people that, like my content. Especially because my view count and stuff, like I checked my stats recently. All of my stats were double. I had double the sub amount per month, double the view amount, double the hour amount. That is really good. I want to keep making deep content, but the issue is I don't really have the same feel for the game anymore. And it's not because of the update, and I'm gonna have some people who are complete idiots say, oh yeah, it's because of the update. No, it's a consistent, like, track record that I'm upset about. It's not the fact that Deep drops one bad nerf. Like, if they just nerfed Hellbreaker and they nerfed Darksteel, which are the two weapons I use, sure, whatever, I can hop on, like, a Suffocation Halberd. I actually have one, which I was supposed to make a video about a long time ago, but I forgot. So I will make my next video that I actually intend on working on. I will make it on this, and technically I did quit this game. I'm only really playing it to make videos. Outside of making videos, you won't see me just on the game anymore, unless I'm that bored. And I've been so bored recently that I've been playing Minecraft Dungeons and Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade and like Arcane Lineage, which has 100 players. I would rather play other games than Deepwoken, but I do feel inclined on making content for the people who still want me here, right? But I have some people tell me, oh yeah, you're just mad because they nerfed your weapon. No, I'll go through a list of all the weapons that got nerfed, but pretty much the way I can, like, make an analogy with it is it's like a friend who constantly smokes all the time. And you see that smoking has constantly made this person's health get worse and worse and worse. And you tell them, hey, you need to stop. And they're like, yeah, I'll stop smoking. And you catch them smoking again. Right? It feels like you care more about this friend who's smoking and actively hurting themselves and their own body more than they care about themselves. And that's how I feel about Deepwoken, because Deepwoken is my favorite game. I got over 3,000 hours on this game. I really love the general point of the game, like the PvE, the lore. I liked in V1 how you had to be good at PvP and PvE to do anything. If you couldn't PvE, you couldn't PvP. And if you couldn't PvP, then you wouldn't be able to get PvE. It was like, it worked in tandem. It was great. That's why I really liked it back then, because it felt like I actually had to be a jack of all trades. It wasn't just, you have to be good at PvP. And that's why you'll see me do PvE content too, because I like Kiersguard Champ because it's difficult, it's PvE, and it's not PvP. So I can actually, like, extend my horizons or whatever. And also, the only other thing that's keeping me actually wanting to play this game is Iceblade Slide variant. It's just so crispy that, it's one of the only things that actually makes me feel like this game is worth playing. And if they nerf it and they don't buff it, I'm gonna be mad, because the Windblade version is just better, because you have the talent innate. I had to spend, like, points to get this, and a talent card. But I digress. What I wanted to talk about was how Deepwoken doesn't do balancing properly, and I feel like we all know Deepwoken pretty much just does its balancing off the Deepwoken balance server, which none of the people in the balance server have had a job or have any experience in balancing. All they have is they were actually good at the game. And the reason why I respect Raguzer so much as a developer, even though he quit the game, is because he actually played the game and coded and tested it. So it wasn't just how Archmage would just code the game and not play the game. Rag would actually play the game. Rag actually cared about this game. And I'm not saying, like, Archmage doesn't care about the game. I feel like Archmage does care about the game. He just doesn't have the time to play Deepwoken anymore, and it isn't what they originally made it to be. If, like, Archmage actually played Deepwoken, he would probably understand what's strong and what's not strong, and he'd actually have some time to play it and understand everything. So, back then, the balance changes were kind of fair, because Rag actually played the game. Rag knew what he was doing, because he actually did something with the game. Right? But nowadays, we have weapons like the Flare Blood, which got completely gutted, Shattered Katana, which isn't how it used to be. It used to be the strongest weapon, but instead, the developers decided, hey, let's keep making medium weapons that are just complete stat sticks. Nobody cares about criticals. And then all the good criticals, let's make it so you can motif them onto other weapons, so it doesn't even matter if a weapon is unique because of the critical. I feel like motifs actually, like, just ruined the uniqueness of weapons. The whole purpose of a weapon having, like, its own custom crit is you would use that weapon for the crit, which is why I played, like, unique critical weapons, and I prefer to avoid using, like, an Avenger now, because I like the fact that Skyreap, Hailbreaker, Grand Sidaruska, Chorus, Crescent, Halberd, all these weapons have unique criticals. They're unique. It's not like I'm using just a normal heavy weapon. I'm using one with actual unique spice substance, right? But we look at weapons like the hero blades, which before anybody says that they're strong because you can mage. And even top 250s nowadays would rather play a stiletto with 0 invest and 0 scaling because the stiletto ends up being stronger than the hero blade, besides ice hero blade, because ice hero blade is stupid. And ice hero blade, it should have end lag if you like feint it. It should also play a sound cue whenever it's fainted, because it has no sound cue and no end lag, and you could just feint it so they miss their parry for no reason. I don't know why you could do that, right? And I could talk about how the mainstream meta doesn't get nerfed, but what I wanted to mention was the fact that... Are they coming to get me? They're down there, I don't like that. But what I don't like about Deepwoken currently is the fact that either weapons get too little nerfs or too strong of a nerf, right? If we look at, let's say, Bolt Crusher or Salt Chemist, right? They didn't get any substantial nerfs. The Bolt Crusher nerf was just swing speed. It wasn't the fact that maybe we should nerf the pen, or maybe nerf chip, or maybe nerf damage, because the whole reason why Bolt Crusher is strong is because it has good damage, the crits, overload, surge. Both of them do a ton of posture or guard break, and then on top of the overloading surge, also they have a path where overloading surge is strong, so they just added like 50 synergies to it for no reason. I don't know why they would like make it like that. And then talents like 100 weapons, or 100 talents. I mean, before I even talk about 100 talents, look at weapons like the Imperator's Edge. It's 80, 80, 80. If we do the math, that's 240 points out of your 330 points. That's a ton of points. Do you get a strong weapon, or a unique weapon that maybe has a custom talent, or maybe has some sort of uniqueness to it that makes people want to run it? No! Because they gutted it, and then weapons came out that were just blatantly better than it. So why would I spend 80, 80, 80, 240 out of my 330 points just for a weapon that isn't exactly good, right? Or something like the Red Death or the Black Death, where you can't turn with it anymore. It doesn't do substantial damage, doesn't really have anything going for it, besides maybe like the Red Deaths, or the Black Death's Wither. I think it's the Black Death, I think that's what it's called. Or maybe something like, I don't know, the Flare Blood Commas, which used to be really strong but then got gutted. I mean, even the YouTuber who mained Flare Blood Commas stepped away from Deepwoken, and nobody gave him any flack because he didn't make a video on it. But me personally, I feel like I'm willing to make a video on it, and this video is getting kind of long. Hopefully I can end it before it hits 10 minutes, so about 2.5 minutes. But he quit the game pretty much because they gutted the only weapon he is known for, and the only two weapons I'm known for are Darksteel, which got gutted already, and Hailbreaker, which just got gutted. And before people say Hailbreaker's still usable, no, it's really not. Because the thing is, the devs didn't even think about making compensation buff or fixing the critical. And the thing is, even... This is gonna sound crazy, but even Fortnite does a better job at balancing than this game. Like, and I personally worked on my friends' games for balancing. And when I say that, when I say that Fortnite's is better, I mean it. Because the issue with, like, balancing in Deep is nothing ever gets phased out. Everything that's strong stays strong for months. With Fortnite, like, something like the lock-on pistol got nerfed. It phased out of the meta. Is it still usable? Can you still do good on the lock-on pistol? Yes! It's still strong enough to where it's not like a wet napkin, right? You're actually hitting somebody with something that's strong. Or not super strong, but at least usable, right? But with Deepwoken, it's either they barely nerf a weapon and it's still strong as hell, or they just completely remove it from the game because they just removed its only, like, ability that made it strong. I mean, like, hell, I got put on the balance team, and it's like, if you don't have the notoriety in the server and the people don't like you, they just won't vote for you. Like, I've said things that Six Lukes has said before, and people are like, oh yeah, it's Six Lukes, so I'll agree with the points. But then when I say it, people just disagree with it. Why? Because apparently a bunch of the top Chimes players don't like me very much. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I haven't really touched top Chimes in a while, and I don't really, like, I'm not too critical on them. I don't really, like, go after any of them in specific. I mean, I'll talk about, like, one or two in a video, but I don't go after them, so I don't know why they're so mad at me. But I digress. That's not the point. Pretty much, the balancing in this game is kind of sucky, but I do like the PvE and the other aspects of the game, which is one of the main reasons, like, why I actually started playing this game in the first place. I really like the PvP. or not the PvP. Well, the PvP a little bit. Now it's kind of iffy, especially after I found out that like the updates aren't cookies and cream. Because the thing that you won't know is if you aren't in the balance server, they don't tell you anything that's gonna get nerfed or buffed. They don't tell you what's strong. Like, the thing is, I know what's strong in the current meta because I could just check what they say and say, oh yeah, they want this nerfed. This needs a nerf because if you look at it, it's actually pretty strong. Or I play it and I'm like, hey, compared to what they say in the Discord, this is pretty weak, but I gotta learn how to play it to use it like insanely good, right? So there's like, there's some nuance to it. Sometimes they have good points, sometimes they don't. A lot of the times they don't because they don't actually do any research besides a clip of what they got hit with in Chime. Like, imagine saying, oh yeah, Hailbreaker goes through parry, and then they just post a clip of it in Chime. But in actuality, the person that they posted, right, like they're posting their POV, they're just lagging, so it goes through parry. If you actually use the weapon, you would know, hey, maybe it doesn't go through parry if you actually tested it yourself. But the top Chimes players, they don't test anything. They just drop a clip of somebody else using some niche meta, and everyone's like, oh, you could do that? Oh! Instead of maybe nerfing the synergy, they just completely gut the base, right? Instead of nerfing Hailbreaker because it was only good off Frozen Anchor, they just... let's remove the Frozen Anchor from it, right? And the thing is, with weapons like Grin and Hailbreaker, the first tick right here, that freezes, right? The second tick right here, that unfreezes them. So there is no set play that you could do with it. And that's the worst bit. This crit is a set play based build. It has 3 different crit variants. And the reason why that's important is because with each crit variant, you're supposed to play it differently. One of them keeps you in place, so you need to pay attention to how you're going to move with it. The other brings you forward and lets you chase slightly, meaning you could play it differently. And based off the fact that it has 3 crits, each with different stages and it alternates, you have to play set play. If you don't play set play on Hailbreaker, it doesn't work. Which made it unique and feel fun to play, because... well, now it's not just a regular heavy weapon. It's not just, oh yeah, I don't know, M1 Ice Lance, Abuse Shaky into Critical, into Uppercut Crystal Impale, into M1 Shoulder Bash, M1 Feint Windblade, right? That is a combo that I've hit before. It's an easy combo to land just because, right? This doesn't feel unique. It feels like every other heavy weapon. But with something like Halberd, unique critical. I gotta play differently because my critical does something different. That's why I like it, because it feels unique to play. And this video is going over 10 minutes now, so I will end the video. But preferably, right, I still want to play Deepwoken, because the thing is, a lot of people say that I'm build carried, but I personally have played like other builds, and I am just as good on the other builds. I mean, probably not just as good, but I can tear up most of the people I fight on any build that I would use. In fact, I would queue Chimes on builds that are unfinished and I'd still win my matches. Why? Because it's not that bad once you learn the gimmicks, right? The main mechanics, how to play the game. And the thing is, you won't ever see a top 250 not teaming in BR, because most of the top 250s are frauds off their top builds. I mean, I fought King Garps on stream, and like, he 2v1'd me, he got tore up. Why? Because we're all freshies, and he's not a like actual real top 250. And I know, oh, you brought up King Garps a bunch. To be fair, he is the only top 250 that I fought in game that is at least somewhat notable that people would know. I mean, before I even queued him, I didn't even know who he was. I thought he was just some random dude. And he got all mad and he's like, oh yeah, you suck, I hate you. I didn't even do anything, I just beat him in Chimes. Like, sure, I 100%ed you the first time we fought. That doesn't mean you need to get mad at me. Like, what? But yeah, this video is done. Am I done with Deepwoken? Preferably no. I'll try to upload because I still have people who care about my content who want to see me upload. So, if I can, I will upload. But I will no longer be playing this game for fun anymore.